Dark Neostorm is innovative. Probably one of Konami's boldest moves in recent Yu-Gi-Oh! History. I'm pretty sure you guys are wondering exactly what I'm talking about. Well, Dark Neostorm has no new strategies inside the set. It's just straight support for some of those older strategies, and I have to applaud them. I think it's an excellent idea because there are so many strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh! That are just outright bad. Some that I've never even seen or sniffed competitive relevancy. And this set addresses a lot of them. The only downside to this is that since there's no new strategies, people aren't easily drawn into figuring out or trying to find which one of those strategies will be the next upcoming meta. But say no more, fam. There are some awesome cards in this set, and you probably should be picking up Dark Neostorm. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the best cards inside of Dark Neostorm and why they are so awesome. I'm TheCaliEffect, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, then go and destroy that subscribe button. But more importantly, go ahead and that notification bell because, well, we just too strong. Also want to give a special thanks to every single one of my Patreons. Without you guys, videos like this would not be possible. Also want to give a mad shout out to our newest Patreon, Ellison Tran. Welcome to the clan. Make sure you add yourself to that Discord as well as me or any of my admins so we can get you in the top dogs so you can take advantage of all your rewards. I also want to give a quick mention to our Discord in general. Don't be a glue eater, ladies and gentlemen. Join that Discord. We have so much fun. And I know I've been a little bit absent, but I'm back. Without further ado, I present to you the best cards in the Dark Neostorm set. I have a couple of things to say before we get into this video. The first thing is that I really hate top 5 lists. They feel artificial, and more often than not, I feel like I can mention more than top 5 in almost any given video or any given situation. I want to know what you guys think about actually having just a fluid list as opposed to a set confinement of artificial whatever it is going to be on said video. In essence, I want to know what you guys think if I were to stop making top 5s and just giving you guys the best of the best. One more thing I also want to mention is that I am completely terrible with card names, so I may just butcher a few. In my defense, seriously guys, a lot of these cards aren't even official TCG names, so here we go. Our first card on this list is Armaduck, the World Chalice Guard Dragon. Now, I know I butchered that at least 3 times, and I've only said its name 3 times. It is a Wind Dragon fusion monster that just happens to be level 9, and it has 3,000 attack and 2,600 defense. Its requirements are 3 link monsters, and its effect reads, must first either be fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by tributing the above cards you control, in which case you do not use polymerization. This card can attack all of your opponent's monsters once each. When an attack is declared involving this card and their opponent's link monster, you can banish 1 link monster from your field or graveyard with the same link rating as that link monster. Destroy that opponent's monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking, Callie, why would I ever give up 3 link monsters for a fusion monster? And in theory, I would have to have a 4th link monster just to get it out of my extra monster zone, and you guys are completely true. That would seem a little ridiculous to give up almost any combination of any 3 link monsters just to summon this to your side of the field, until you realize that you don't have to give up your link monsters. You can use your opponents. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, super polymerization is semi-limited on the forbidden list, and I am always looking for new ways to implement the card. Well, if your opponent decides to make a 3-link board like we used to have back in the beginnings of the link era, super polymerization can not only take care of that, but giving you a 3,000 monster that can attack multiple of your opponent's monsters and punishes them when a link monster attacks this card and you have a monster with the same rating. I also feel that this card has a little bit more versatility because you can super polymerization your own link monsters to summon this card to your side of the field to push for extra damage, or you can just tribute all 3 of your link monsters to summon this card if you need to get over a specific link monster. I feel like this card has so many uses. It's just a really, really good card and definitely should not be slept on. It's only a rare inside of the set. The next card we're going to be talking about is Ghost Sister in Spooky Dogwood. Now, I don't know where Konami comes up with these names, but keep them coming. They're actually pretty entertaining. This monster is a water tuner level 3 that is a zombie with 0 attack and 1800 defense. It fits all the requirements to be one of the Ghost Girls. The only thing that I do want to point out is that it's a zombie tuner and a water monster, and sea monster Theseus immediately comes to mind when it comes to comparisons. This card has a quick effect, and it says you can discard this card. Each time your opponent special summons an effect monster during the main phase or battle phase, you gain life points equal to the attack of that monster. During the end phase of this turn, if you do not gain life points with this effect, half your life points. You can only use the effect of Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood once per turn. Now, the first thing I want to point out is you're probably never going to have your life points half through this effect. You're normally going to activate it in response to your opponent using cards like Monster Reborn or a monster effect to spell summon. And since this card is Chain Link 2, it'll resolve before the monster is summoned, and then you'll gain the life points. So Ghost Sister in Spooky Dogwood is actually a card that you'll almost always gain life points from, and it prevents you from being OTK'd. A lot of times your opponent wants to spell summon a ton of monsters to your side of the field to finish you off, and more often than not, those are going to be effect monsters, my apologies. And yeah, Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood actually kind of prevents all that rift draft from happening. I'm pretty happy that Konami actually made a card to address OTKs, and I think that Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood will be a good card to come. Definitely should have 3 copies of this secret rare. I need it myself. Astro Nightmare Idly is a pretty cool card. It's a level 9 monster with 2100 attack, 2100 defense. It's a dark fairy, and its effect reads, level 9 monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. I mean, look, this set has an awkward amount of level 9 monsters, which immediately makes me think of True King of All Calamities, but then I have to bring myself back to earth and realize that these level 9 monsters can't be summoned so easily, or can they? Nightmare Idly is actually a nightmare card that you can summon with Nightmare Mermaid. So yeah, cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can only use the following effects of Astro Nightmare Idly once per turn. If the total link rating of all link monsters on the field is 8 or more, you can summon this card from your hand. Whoa! If this card is spell summoned while your opponent controls more link monsters than you can do, you can send all link monsters on the field to the graveyard. Now, there's quite a few reasons why I like this. First of all, it's a hand trap that deaders your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! If they decide to link away their boards and you just so happen to have less link monsters, you slam this baby to your side of the field and you can completely ruin their link board. The requirements are kind of high, having a link rating with a grand total of 8, when in the top of my head, the highest I can think I can do is maybe 7, so you might just actually need to do some work on yourself. I love that if you do draw it, it becomes a viable card inside of your hand, and you can special summon it through Nightmare Mermaid to send cards to your graveyard. It is a secret rare in the set, but I don't see it as being one of those overly expensive secret rares, but a card that everyone should have in their arsenal. It's just an amazing card, has some really interesting effects, and I think it could be very valuable in the future, if not right now. The next card is a card that everyone is excited over, and I feel is a really big reason why Summon Sorceress was banned. I mean, it did play a part of an FTK. Cherubini, the Black Angel of Burning Abyss, is a Link 2 monster that requires 2 level 3 monsters, and its effect reads, monsters this card points to cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this card on the field will be destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can send one of the cards you control to the graveyard instead. You can send one level 3 monster from your deck to the graveyard, target one Burning Abyss monster on the field. It gains attack and defense equal to the monster sent attack and defense to the end of the turn. You can only use this effect of Cherubini, the Black Angel of Burning Abyss, once per turn. So, not only does this card play nice with every level 3 monster, bringing Phantom Knights back into the fray for Burning Abyss and possibly even Orcust, it prevents your Burning Abyss monsters from being destroyed as long as you summon it to where it points to, meaning that you actually can successfully play those Phantom Knight monsters while you have that Burning Abyss monsters to your side of the field. I also feel that the deck is the card is a walking Foolish Burial. Being able to send level 3 monsters from your deck for free, I don't know, Cherubini just is a really powerful card and brings Burning Abyss back to the forefront of competitive minds. I feel like it's going to be a meta changer. Speaking of Cherubini, the Black Angel of Burning Abyss, you can't mention that fire without talking about that water. We're going to be talking about Mermaid Abyssal Asia, a 1600 Link 2 monster that requires either 2 fish, 2 sea serpent, or 2 aqua monsters. Its effect reads, monster this card's point 2 gain 500 attack and defense. You can use only the following effects of Mermaid Abyssal Asia once per turn. During your opponent's turn, you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, add one Mermaid monster from your deck to your hand. If this card in the owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect or attack, you can send one water monster from your deck to your graveyard, target one water monster in your graveyard, spell summon in defense position. This card is really nice. It's a replacement to Mystara Boy. Why? Because it allows you to search cards like your Mermaid Abyssal on your opponent's turn. It also gives you a little bit utility when it's destroyed, putting a water monster in your graveyard to summon it to your side of the field. I think that Abyssal Asia is another piece that Mermaids needs to the puzzle, and definitely is a powerful card, allowing them to advance their game state and possibly even still going for game because the monsters that it points to gain 500 attack. Don't sleep on Mermaids, they just got a lot more powerful. The next card on this list is Sainet Mining. This card says, send one card from your hand to the graveyard, add one level 4 or lower Cyburst monster from your deck to your hand. You can only activate one Sainet Mining once per turn. Now I know what you guys are thinking. This is insane support for your Cyburst deck because those decks are definitely going to come to the top of the pinnacle when it comes to competitive relevancy. No? Okay, seriously, it's all about Solomon Grade. This card literally justifies the Lady Debug limit that I was talking about. Konami wants to make more money off of Solomon Grade, and hey, after giving us a structure deck for $30, an entire competitive deck for $30, I really can't blame you. I can't even knock you for limiting Lady Debug, as that's exactly what we predicted. Hitting cards to make people buy more cards. Sainet Mining does exactly what Lady Debug did do, except in the form of a secret rare spell card that you're probably going to have to get 3 of. Solomon Grade will still be a very powerful deck, and it's going to be even more powerful with Sainet Mining. Spellcar's Cave might just be one of the better cards inside of the set, and it's only a super rare. Its effect reads, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, your opponent cannot activate monster effects or declare attacks. If you control more monsters than your opponent does, you cannot activate monster effects or declare attacks. Once per turn during the end phase, if you control the same number of monsters as your opponent, destroy this card. Now this card actually reminds me of another card that prevented your opponent from using hand traps, but just a little better. This card prevents your opponent from almost playing Yu-Gi-Oh! If they decide to make that super mega catastrophic board, you activate Sainet Mining, and now hey, all your monster effects are turned off. I can play Yu-Gi-Oh! I definitely think that Spellcar's Cave is more deserving of its print. Probably should be an ultra rare or a secret rare, but I am not going to complain. Pick up these cards because they're really good for helping you break boards and help balance the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. Now Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't all about making a 5 negate board. You can actually get pretty much destroyed with a Spellcar's Cave. The next card I want to talk to you guys about, I have to actually look down and say its card name because it's a mess. It's called Place and Erase Puzzle Place and Erase Puzzy Poly Guy. Alright, so here's a Link 2 monster that requires 2 monsters with different levels, and its effect reads, if a monster that has a level is spell summoned to a face-up zone this card points to, while you control this monster except during the damage step, you can declare a level from 1 through 8. That monster's level becomes that level. You can target one monster on each field with the same level and destroy them. You can only use each effect of Place and Erase Puzzle Poly. Say that card name like 5 times fast. I get Place and Erase Puzzle Poly. Place and Erase. Okay, so sure, whatever. This card actually is really interesting, especially for synchro decks. Summoning a monster to the side of the field, you can declare any level and then just fit it with the right synchro that you need. I thought that was a really interesting card to talk about because it doesn't get enough shine, but I think in decks that play monsters with multiple levels, being able to manipulate the level that you want could come in clutch for your Exceed or synchro plays. No Material is a card that everyone is excited over for all of the wrong reasons. To be honest with you guys, I don't think that it's a good card, but it definitely deserves a spot in the best because of its price point. It's like $80 or something. I'm not gonna buy this for $80. Its effect reads, if your opponent spell summons a monster while you control no cards, you can discard this card and target one face-up monster your opponent controls. That turn, that monster cannot be tributed, used as a fusion, synchro, exceed, or link. You can only use the effect of no material once per turn. Now, the card, in theory, is really good because if your opponent is going first and they start to pop off with the normal board that they can do, you can discard no material from your hand and prevent them from playing off. I give you that. If you discard this card at the right given time, while you control no cards, you can completely stop your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For an entire turn. Now, the reason why I think this card is bad possibly can be used for an entirely different video. We're only going to focus on the good. That's pretty much all the good. It just stops your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In the right circumstances. The next card I feel is going to put Orcust on the map, not just as an engine, but as an entire deck. Orcust is really powerful, and I know you guys are probably wanting to see an Orcust deck profile. Go ahead and like the video and let me know. But Dengritisu, the Orcust of Evening Star, is a rank 8 monster with 2600 attack, 2100 defense. It says you can also special summon you can only special summon Dengritisu once per turn. You can also exceed summon this card by using an Orcust Link material or Orcust Link monster as material. If a card you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach one material from this card instead. If this card is special summoned, you can activate one of these effects. Send one card your opponent controls to the graveyard, attach one of your banished machine monsters as material. Now, the reason why this card is so good is because the Orcust Link monsters are pretty generic. Galtea, I actually have an ultimate rare right here, requires 2 effect monsters. The only thing you have to do is play an Orcust monster. Orcust cards are pretty generic themselves. Why? Because they allow you to extend your board, and the only restriction is that you can only summon dark monsters for the rest of your turn. Even rewinding a little bit further, Nightmare Ibli can get you into this card, because all you have to do is summon your Cerberus and Ibli, and congratulations, you have your Galteo, which will essentially lead to this card. It provides protection, and it can send cards from the graveyard without targeting, so it's a really, really good card. Currently, it's an ultra rare, so I definitely don't see it being really high in price, especially seeing that it's a one of in almost every deck. The last card on this list is Ib, World Chalice Justiciar. Now this card is a water monster, synchro tuner, level 5, 1800 attack, 2100 defense. Its effect reads, or it requires one tuner and one or more non-tuners, and its effect reads, for this card synchro summon, you can treat one World Chalice normal monster you control as a tuner. You can use each of the following effects of Ib, World Chalice Justiciar once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, you can add one World Legacy card from your deck to your hand. If this card is synchro summoned sent to the graveyard, you can spell summon one World Chalice monster from your deck or graveyard, except for itself. Now, the reason why this card is so good is because it spell summons World Chalice Guard Dragon to your side of the field. No? Okay, that's probably not the reason why it's good. It's because it allows you to extend with so many combos. And on top of that, it allows you to add World Legacy cards from your deck to your hand. Is it World? Yeah, World Legacy cards, not just World Legacy monsters. World Legacy Succession comes into mind, as well as World Legacy Guard Dragon. I feel like I can go into hours on detail about this card. It makes so many decks more competitive, but I feel that that's probably for the competitive decks that I will put out involving this card. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. I know I missed quite a few cards. I want you guys to post down below in the comment section. The comment section should be filled with so many things. Cards that I missed, the deck profiles that you guys want to see, and even more importantly, why we are just too strong. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy. I hope you guys are having a great day like I am.